it's recording. Hi. I'm gonna make some demonic Rice Krispies because that's everyone's favorite treat for Valentine's Day. Also, I'm not gonna use a recipe because who needs those? Just, yeah. Rice Krispies. We have that much, so I'll use that. Marshmallows. Butter. I think that's it. Okay. Yeah. The first thing you're gonna want to do is to get like a good old pot and pan. Wow. Whoa. Okay. And you're gonna wanna turn on the heat. Let's say medium heat. Yeah, that sounds like a good heat. Then you take these. So the very first thing you're going to do is grab your bag of marshmallows and get a good old handful of marshmallows. Make sure that you drop one on the ground and go to pick it up. And then throw that away because we don't want any germs here. We're not catching coronavirus in this household. Then you drop all of those marshmallows into the pan and cut yourself a good old chunk of butter with a knife. And then you drop that into the pan and let that sit for about longer than it should be, which is what I did. And then you stir it sometimes, but you forget. And then you keep stirring and you keep stirring and you keep stirring, and then it looks really gross and weird, and that's how you know you're doing it right. Well, actually, no, because I mess up. But, so keep stirring. You stir for a really long time, enough that your arm is going to fall off. And then you stop stirring, and it should look a little bit yellow, which is good. So then you add a few more marshmallows, but then it starts to look weird, so you stop doing that. And then you just keep stirring and stirring and stirring and stirring and stirring, and you feel like you're just going to be stirring forever until you die. And you itch your leg, and then you keep stirring, and you keep stirring, and you keep stirring until finally you decide to edit the clip and not just talk through the entire slow-mo. So you get the box of Rice Krispies and pour in a decent amount. You stir that in very harshly with harsh words coming from you and from the Rice Krispies. It was mutual. And then you decide that it's okay if you just pour a few more in because it wasn't looking sticky enough. And then you mix that in and you're like, maybe I should add even more. It's still sticky. There's clumps sticking to it. That means it's sticky. And so you pour in the rest of the bag, crumbs and all. And you realize then that that was a bad choice because you're getting all of these like little Rice Krispie bits at the bottom that aren't stirring in. So you grab it with your hands and you just give up. So you get a brownie pan from the little shelf underneath your oven, and you shove it in there. And you have a lot of trouble getting out the Rice Krispies from the bottom of the pan, so you just decide not to. And you get as much as you can and then put the pan into the sink. You shove those Rice Krispies hard, harder than you would shove your brother if he stole your toothbrush. So this was what was left in the pan. Yeah. And then this is my tray of Rice Krispies. So I'm going to put this in the fridge. Yeah, I'm going to put this in the fridge. That looks like a safe place for it. Okay. Deep in the bowels of the fridge. Now that my Rice Krispies have been in the fridge for about 7 minutes, I'm going to bring them out and cut them into shapes. First, what am I doing? I'm an idiot. First, grab your Rice Krispies. Then realize that you're doing something wrong. So you go back and you do something else. So then you select your knife. You need to find the perfect knife. I did not find the perfect knife. Then you cut your Rice Krispies into square or triangle, maybe like shapes. Just like cut them how you want them. And then realize that they're too tough and that they're falling apart and there's crumbs on the bottom. I'm gonna make more marshmallow sauce. First, the very next thing you're gonna do is do the same thing that you did earlier, which is get a pan, drop a firm handful of marshmallows into it, get some butter, get a big old chunk of that and drop that in there, and just stir that for a little bit until it starts to look, you'll see. So it looks like I added cheese or something, and I don't know why. It's just yeah, so I don't know. I promise I didn't add cheese. One time when I was little, I came home from school, and my dad had made me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but on the side of the peanut butter and jelly sandwich, there was a single goldfish sticking out, and then I wouldn't eat the sandwich. Well, at least it's all melted. I'm just gonna... So you take the Rice Krispies that you did wrong and you break those apart and put them into the new marshmallow fluff that you have just made that looks like cheese. And you keep doing that until you have all of the marshmallows in, and if you have the bigger clumps, you can break those apart and make them different sized clumps, and then pour in all of the dust at the end, because it's going to be all dust. That's what happened to me. That's what's going to happen to you, maybe, probably. And then, yeah. Once you do all that, you'll have a pan that's too small for all of the crumbs, and you'll mix it apart, but it won't really work, and sometimes it'll fall, and it's hard, but you'll figure it out. You can do it. I believe in you. And then you take that big clump and drop some of it, and then you take that big clump and you put it back into the pan and smush it into the pan really hard. You need to smush really hard, otherwise it's not going to work. Actually, you don't have to smush that hard. So, but once it's all flat and level at a flat and level length, then you can wash your pan and turn off the heat. Remember to turn off the heat, because otherwise you're going to burn down the house and your brother can come in the room. It's fine. They're fine. I promise. Okay. Now I'm going to cut them into shapes. So the first thing you're going to want to do is to poke it tentatively with a knife, and then cut out a heart shape, and then decide that your cutting skills are really bad, so you just smush it, and then cut out a few more shapes of, whatever you want, and then end up smushing those with your hands. So now I'm gonna use something to make frosting out of. We have chocolate chips. I'm gonna make chocolate chip drizzles. Chocolate sauce. That's the word. Chocolate sauce. I'm gonna need... That was very loud. I'm sorry. Milk. Chocolate. So, you get a very tiny bowl, and you pour milk into said very tiny bowl, and then you put said very tiny bowl into the microwave for 30 seconds, and then you watch it intensely. So, you pour your heated milk into the bowl with the chocolate, and then you stir it. And then you add more heated milk because it's not working. And then you give up and decide to just microwave it all. So then you stir it a bunch more, and then you add some more chocolate because it's too liquidy. And then you keep stirring it. And then you add more chocolate and put it into the smallest bag you can find and cut a hole in the tip. Make sure that the hole in the tip is too big to write words with. Then you squeeze out all of the chocolate onto the Rice Krispies, and you can try to write words. I failed at trying to write words, so I just kind of started squeezing chocolate everywhere, which worked for me. It tasted pretty good, except I don't like Rice Krispies very much. I don't know why I made them. Yeah, I don't know. I thought they were going to end up looking cool, which is, I think, why I made them, but they didn't end up looking cool, so I just don't know. Here's my final Rice Krispies. They're kind of, yeah, they were supposed to say cool things on them, like Hail Satan, and yeah, but it didn't, so I just kind of put chocolate everywhere. So they're chocolate Rice Krispies now. Yeah. The next step is to get some strawberries, because you'll have a lot of extra chocolate if you did it the way I did. On camera? For the first time? Mm-hmm.
I have definitely not eaten one at all, by the way, 100%.
We'll do it together, right? You ready? Okay, cheers.
They're so crunchy.
And there's some math back.
Mm-hmm.
Can you find the math? And then we will see what the topic is in math and look it up. Okay?
We're eating them for the first time, definitely on camera.
So there you go. That was my wonderful, beautiful Rice Krispies that were supposed to be satanic, but they ended up not being, and that's okay. That's life. Like, follow, and subscribe, and make sure to add me on Instagram at Kira's_a_thespian. I switched my posting days to Sundays because Mondays don't really work because that is a school day. So, yeah, follow, like, subscribe. Oh, wrong side. Boom. I will, talk to you later. See ya. Hi. So, I have a very important other thing to add to the very end of this video that I just thought should be acknowledged. So, I just rewatched Spies Are Forever from... My cat just came in my room. He wants to say hi. Yeah, so Tin Can Bros' Spies Are Forever is one of the best plays I've ever seen, and it is so underappreciated. That is all I had to say. Goodbye.